What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thanks for tuning in yet again to another episode of Kingdom Ross Present, the Yeah I Said It podcast. We're expressing what our full capabilities to the might wonders and correctional facilities. Brainchild of my child, I'm the dad after this operation. Ross Cooper, coming to you live and in public, if you will. Got to get a little Dusty Rhodes in there. As always, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, please talk to the folk.
Welcome to Baltimore, home of the cicadas. So I apologize if you hear something loud in the background. It's not me. If you're on the East Coast, you understand what we're going through right now. It's not fun. And the cicadas want all the smoke and all the noise. So it's gonna be this way for a couple weeks or a month or so. So yeah. But yeah, well, I hope everybody's doing good, living life, being happy and yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. Let's get.
All right, so if you can see me, for those who can see me, for those who are following us on YouTube and the visual aspect of things, I am rocking not a Kobe jersey, but a Ron Artest jersey that is very symbolic. One, well, as we'll talk about later, it is about athletes and their mental health. And two, with NBA players, Ron Artest in particular, he is notoriously, infamously connected to the Malice at the Palace. And it is interesting that the same thing that sparked that off, certain folk want to continue to do. And I think somebody's going to get what they're asking for, especially you keep messing with Brody. But I digress. We will get to that momentarily. We're gonna set this thing off, and I guess what would be called I don't know if it's considered the Midwest, but a landmark decision has come out of the Supreme Court. They have ruled that half of Oklahoma is Native American land. I'm reading an article from the BBC. Yeah, half of Oklahoma is now Native American land. Um, the irony in that, of course, there's a couple aspects to get into there. One, flat out, it just means that if you were convicted of a crime, if you're a Native American and were convicted of a crime in any of that land, you can now contest that conviction. Um, the other issue with this article is that basically this kind of stems from someone that was accused of sexual assault of a teenager. And while they did not contest guilt, they contested the conviction, saying, hey, you can't convict me of this on my own land. And the Supreme Court was like, yo, you kind of got a point. It is you guys' land. So here you go. That just means at this point, any kind of criminal, what have you, would have to go the federal route. You have to be convicted federally. But if you were convicted of a crime in any of the land that was just returned back to the Native Americans, the indigenous people that live there, you can now contest that conviction because the state U.S. government has no jurisdiction. A lot of points to unpack there, but first and foremost, glad you got your land back. It was yours to begin with. But I've heard a couple of different aspects to this as far as how joyous we should be. But your thoughts, sir. Let's start there. What are you thinking?
Um, Congratulations. I mean, just a very small piece of the pie, but it's a step in the right direction and being like, yeah, my bad. This was yours to begin with. I didn't mean to come to your house and kick you out and then give you a disease COVID blanket and be like, take that with you. But
Palestine. sorry.
I know I'm just saying cool. But I mean, that's a weird, like I said, it's a weird place to start from because, like you said, it started from a sexual assault case to like, yeah, this is my land, so I can do what I want. Basically, you can't have no jurisdiction over me, which is kind of sad and scary at the same time. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. But you know what we waiting for. If you black, you know what we waiting for. We can
I,
give it
it,
give.
it,
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. So I'm not even going to say it. So it's
oh,
not even going to.
come.
But hey, props to him. I'm not a hater, like I said. Props to him. We'll see what more they can get from this. Like, can they get more states or all of Oklahoma? Probably not. But hey, if you feeling so giving, you might as well ask for the whole house instead of just asking for some crumbs. Just saying.
Listen, ma'am, okay, so you kind of touched on a mentality because I posted this on our Facebook page. Yeah, I said it's on Facebook. And reactions were kind of mixed because initially it was like, okay, cool. But a couple of reactions, and I'm like, I can't argue that point. They were like, oh, so you take all my shit and give me half of it back. I'm supposed to be happy. And I'm like,
Not even half of 100th of a land.
well, I mean, you're talking about the whole country. I'm just saying they gave back half of Oklahoma. So you got half of Oklahoma back. Like,
Yeah, but
come
yeah,
on.
plus your reservations. But we know that
But
we don't give a fuck about their reservations. So I guess will we care about half of Oklahoma being gone? I guess not. I don't know.
But that was the thing. I'm like, let's see. And like you said, I'm not a hater, but for anybody that's black and keeping score at home, so let me see. Native Americans, the indigenous people have gotten half of Oklahoma back. That's awesome for them. Your boy Uncle Joe went and passed the anti-Asian hate bill, or however it's worded. All right, that's
Stop Asian
great for
hate.
them.
Yeah.
Stop it. Yeah, stop Asian hate bill. That's great for them. You wait till you remember, but this like that scene at the Color Purple where all the mail come this and that, and the scene sitting like, yo, anything come for me? I'm just like the Asians got their bill like right off the top. Soon as your man's got in office, half of Oklahoma going back to the folks who had the first place. It probably you like you're right. It should be all of it, but hey, another argument for another day. Meanwhile, the folks who built this country for free 99, the folks who if we were to go all the way there, Japanese got reimbursed for the internment camps from WW2. Like, yo, since y'all in such a giving mood, what's up with them reparations though? Just asking. Because one of the comments I made on our Facebook page on the post, I was like, listen, I get it. It's half of Oklahoma, technically all of Oklahoma, not even technically all of Oklahoma is theirs. Um, Given the amount that we're owed, I take half my reparations right now. I'm not saying we're not owed all of it, but you given the amount of free labor given by our ancestors with compounded interest, and then everything we were deprived of after 1865 until 1965. It's a pretty fair amount. So I'll take half that. Probably come out to a few hundred million. I'll take half my reparations right now,
Oh, a few hundred million what per person?
bruh. Like if we were, and I know all the civics and everybody else are gonna lose their shit on this one. But if we were to formally bring a lawsuit for just lost wages alone, we're not even gonna talk pain and suffering. Because if you try to pull off the stuff you did then, now you're looking at kidnapping, you're looking at rape, you're looking at human trafficking. Like these laws are on the books now. So if you apply law of today to slavery, it's mind-boggling. But just from the standpoint of lost wages alone, not even talking about the pain and suffering, lost wages, that's gotta be in the hundreds of millions. Even if you did it by minimum wage, you worked your entire life 10, 12-hour shifts for free. So even if you did $7 an hour, after the first 40 hours, you're talking overtime over the course of your entire life. And it's not like you didn't go to work until you was like 16 or 18 or 14 like you do now. I'm sure they had young kids out there doing stuff as well. So just lost wages alone with compounded interest, I don't think it's far fetched for us to say we're probably owed a couple hundred million.
Well, I'm gonna stop you there because where are we gonna get all that money from, man? That's a lot of money per person. That's trillions, well, probably even more than trillions of dollars being set out. Where's that going to come from, sir? The taxpayers? So the working class is going to have to pay for that?
I mean, Bezos could fit the bill for most of it. you
Not
look at
all of it.
Bezos, you look at Bezos and Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, that fit the bill for most of it.
Yeah, but
And
that's not their fault. They had nothing to do with slavery.
maybe not. This is where the fun part, this is where the fun things is. I saw a meme also again posted on our Facebook page. Yeah, I said it on Facebook. Um, Whenever you do your ancestry, it should do two things. It should, of course, show you your ancestry and then also trace back to the family that owned your people. And there should automatically be set up direct deposit from their wealth to pay you back. Like, listen, if
That's not
we
going to
can,
happen.
I'm just saying, listen, if we can trace back that you have benefited from slave labor, you owe. It's really that simple. And for anyone out there listening, well, like I said, I mentioned on the show a few times, you had a point. You said nothing has changed. I was like, that's not true. So much has changed. And I had to analyze it. No, you're right. Only the laws have changed. And
Not for our benefit. But go ahead.
if you think affirmative action is anywhere on par with indemnifying what was lost, like I said, just do the math. Even if we set it to minimum wage, 10, 12-hour days every day, because I don't think slaves got days off. I don't think it was Monday through Friday. I'm not, just saying. 10 to 12-hour days every day for your entire life until you die. A lot of money there. A lot of money there. And it's never been paid back. And even after Lincoln freed the slaves, he had a whole another 100 years of all the other nonsense that goes along with it. So no, this has not been paid back. Yes, it is an outstanding debt, but on a real simple term. If I borrowed $20 from you in 1980, I still owe you $20 in the year 2000 if I didn't pay it back.
Gonna be a
Just,
hell
just
of a lot more than that, but yeah.
right. So it's like, yeah, on the one end, I can sit here and clap for our indigenous Native American brothers and sisters. I can sit here and clap kind of for our Asian brothers and sisters. And I say kind of, please don't misinterpret. It's just, I think um, some folks have short term memory loss because it's not as if there has not been a contentious relationship between Blacks and Asians in this country.
LA riots. Just go look at those videos and you'll see what we're talking
Right.
about.
It's not as if,
Protecting their land.
right. So there's that. But no, I'm glad they got their land back. I say keep pushing. Any of our Native American indigenous listeners out there, congrats. Keep pushing. Now, as in reference to the legal aspect of this, I would not suggest you continue. I would not suggest this be based in some kind of weird sexual assault idea. That's not really cool at all. But from the legal standpoint, yeah, if you can keep pushing and get back more of what's yours and get the U.S. government to honor some treaties, do that. I'm I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. Absolutely all for it. Please get what's yours, get the bag, what have you. All right. So more modern news. Gonna switch gears a little bit here. Netflix just dropped the trailer for We the People. Apparently, the Obamas has something to do with that. It is a civics musical, from what I can tell. Got a lot of big name artists. HER, Hers on there, BB Rexa, some well known rappers, some Andre Day is on there, some modern folks that I don't listen to, but based on the trailer, it sounded good. I'm gonna let you be the Jeter on this and lead it off. What are your initial reactions, sir?
Um, I don't care about the Obamas, but the the trailer of the basically a cartoon music video because that's what it just looks like. It's just a big compilation of different music videos. I mean, it looks good. You got Corday, HER, her, other people. I forgot the other people, but I mean, it looks cool. I mean, not jumping out the gym to go watch it, but I mean, I probably will because I have to because of the show. But Other than that, I mean, I don't necessarily care, but it does look dope though. I will give it to him. It does look dope.
Okay, I can live with that. I'm like, and this is where sometimes being too woke can go against you. Because my initial thought was, so what? We too stupid to watch a real documentary? We too stupid to like you talking down to us now? Everything gotta be a rhyme? What's going on? You gotta put in a cartoon, can't have real people, just like the damn Obamas. Always want to talk down to black people. And I was like, okay, chill out.
Yeah, microwave era. That's what it is.
Let me let me chill out. I like I had to roll back my cynicism for a minute. I had to roll back my cynicism because it's like, listen, we had the most amount of people I believe voted ever almost in the last election. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize. I'm pulling this one off the cuff. We had the most amount of people, like, it was a huge election last year. And it did show a few things. We need information. We need unbiased information. Because no matter what side you sat on, it was a lot of information to back up your point. And I'm not 100% sure it was all unbiased. If you were Team Biden, you could find whatever you want to show you Biden was the man, Trump was trash. If you was Team MAGA, we can show all these facts to show how Donald Trump was the greatest president in American history, and we need 4 more years, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, you need information. All right. And what we also saw highlighted is there was a lot of people that had no idea how the government actually works. We all sat in, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade civics class. We should remember checks and balances and how the Supreme Court, like when everybody was going to ape shit over Kamala Harris, like, oh, we got Kamala, like, y'all do realize she the vice president, right? Y'all do remember what a vice president does, right? Like, I'm not trying to kill the shy, not trying to, not the system, but I'm like, vice president, like, you hold the tiebreaker if there's a tie in the Senate. And of course, you become president should the president die. But
Which is
other
like,
than that, stop. Just stop.
I'm
Biden is
joking,
great.
man. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
You
Maybe.
trying to you trying to have a Secret Service run up on you, bro? You really trying to have a Secret Service just run up on you right now?
You gonna run up on me because I said he might not make it? I mean, I don't understand. I didn't say I was gonna
Sound
do
like a
anything.
threat, homie. Sound like a threat, my dude. You got to chill on that. Sound like a threat. What
He
you
does have
doing?
the best healthcare, so maybe he'll make it. I don't know.
He
He is
gonna make
about
it.
10 million years old. He's older than you. So there's that.
He good. He good. He good. He gonna make it. He gonna be fine. Shout out to Uncle Joe.
Famous last
Okay,
words.
that part was a joke. Um, but no, I was saying like we need the civics aspect of it. It does break down taxes and everything else. So based on what I saw, when I remove my own biases and cynicism away from it, it looks like a pretty good project. I think my inherent issue is whenever I see Obama's name, I'm kind of like you. I have a really visceral reaction because I'm like, in 8 years, you got to start asking, okay, did you
Not
close the wealth? I'm just like, did you, my metric, and this is for any president, this is for anybody in office with that level of power. Look, did you close the wealth gap? Did you pass any laws on these pigs to keep black folks from getting killed? Did you increase home ownership? How's unemployment looking? Um, are black people and women still making pennies on the dollar of white men? Now, plot twist, this is not just for Obama, this is for anyone who sits in that Oval Office. The spotlight was a little bigger on Obama because he looks a lot more like me than Joe Biden does. But I just have a very visceral reaction to the Obamas, and it's like, yeah. So I said, all right, I'm gonna give it an honest watch. I looked at the trailer, and like you said, it does look dope. I think it's necessary. I think like if you've ever gone to college, they tell you like, yo, if you could put anything in a song, you can memorize it. It's a great way to introduce the civics lessons to a young generation who might not really want to sit in a civics class and pay attention to a boring teacher. So I'm gonna give it an honest watch. Not the day it comes out because it drops on July 4th. And I don't know about you, but if you got a certain amount of melanin, that ain't my Independence Day. Black vote wasn't free. 4th of July, 1776. The motherfuckers who sat there and signed the paper were cool with slavery. So yeah, Black folks wasn't free in July 4th. So no, I will not be watching on the 4th of July. But yeah, I'm with you. I'll give it an honest watch any day but the 4th of July.
Not a real
And
America. Not a real American. Where's the Hulk Hogan in you, buddy?
sorry.
I must be real American.
Dude, sidebar, real quick. Can we talk about the amazing amount of American propaganda there was in that song? That used to be one of my favorite songs. Yes, I grew up watching wrestling. Yes, Hulk Hogan was my favorite wrestler. Yes, for a good long while, I thought Hulk Hogan was actually black, but because I had no idea about California culture and tanning, and yeah. But I'm a Real American is just the biggest American propaganda song. It's got to be right up there with Born in the USA. Like, okay, back on target. But all right, back on target here. So we're gonna keep things black. Naomi Osaka, in all fairness, she is black and Japanese. Had an issue at Roland Garros at the French Open. Naomi Osaka is a world-renowned tennis player. She is the bomb diggity. She is I don't know if we can safely say heir apparent to Venus and Serena as far as just killing titles, but she is the heir apparent as far as continuing the tradition of amazing black women who represent. She is socially aware. I try not to say woke because yeah, but she's very socially aware, and she decided for her mental well-being to not do interviews or entertain the press, those pack of jackals during the French Open. She gets major league anxiety. And until she brought it to my attention, I didn't think about it. If you look at the nature of how interviews go in tennis, like literally you will sit there, play a 3 hour match, put it all on the line, be dead and lose. And now you got to sit here and answer questions about why you lost damn near instantly. I can see where people, I can see where tennis players be like, nah, I'm good on that. I'm all the way good. Win lose, I'm all the way good on talking to y'all right after the match. Um, and Roland Garros took little shots at her on Twitter, fined her, threatened her with expulsion, blah blah blah. I'm like, wow, that's some seems about white. But so she withdrew. She said, you know what, f y'all. Current net worth sits somewhere around, I believe, 55 million. If she never played tennis again, I think she's okay. But it kind of shows how little they care about the athlete's mindsets or mental health. I don't think that's a stretch to make. But when you got the details of this, what you think, man?
Um, Power Tour, like I said, NBA starting to make its steps on mental health. Hopefully, the NFL is once they get past the concussion things, because that's literally your mental right there. But since they came to light about concussions and stuff, so they're starting to be on their stuff too. So, um, Power Tour, like I said, mentals is very important. I can't understand her because I'm not a professional athlete, so I don't have to answer questions. Like you go to the basketball court, you lose, you just go home. So uh, I don't. I can only imagine what the stuff I would say if I had to do an interview after a loss. Uh,
Mm,
I'm 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 not the greatest. I'm not a sore loser, but I'm not very happy when I lose. So yeah, I can only imagine. So I get what you're saying on that one, but yeah, I'm proud of her because she is very woke. She did wear some. She does. She with Nike. I think she with
I
Nike.
believe she's a Nike athlete.
I know she got a hell of other endorsements, which is good because she deserves it. Because she is active socially. She does. She did wear masks and things to say her name and stuff like that. So shout out to her, my blazing person.
Raise a
Uh,
black fist. Raise a black fist.
sir, yes, sir. But yeah, like you said, I think she's straight. And oddly enough, her boyfriend is Corday, and he's a great rapper, one of the great young guns, not just mumble trash. So They make a good power couple, and I think she would be straight if she never came back. I would want her back because she might be the second coming of Serena. Maybe I don't know. That's a high praise because that's the goat. But she did beat her not too long ago, so and won that championship. So yeah, but yeah, I'm proud of her, and hopefully she gets all the answers she needs to get and gets more support and fixes whatever she needs to fix for herself and is happy and content with her life and her mentals because that's like I said very important. I understand that part because I try to do the same thing every day. I'm pretty sure you do too, and everyone should. So yeah, I'm proud of her. That's all I got to say for the
Yeah, it's just amazing. Again, it goes back to the jersey I'm wearing. When we all saw the Malice at the Palace, a lot of people saw, oh my God, this rogue thug and this, that, and the third. Oh my God. And by a lot of people, if I had to guess, a lot of them being white,
Queens.
right?
Shout out to Queens.
Oh, absolutely. Shout out to Queens. Queensbridge. And it's just like we have this ideal that we put these athletes on pedestals. And that is, I think, the one another place where social media has done a lot of good. The results may not have always been good for the athletes, but it gives you a peek into their actual mindset. They are not just high paid property. It's a real person in there. And it's like we always seem to separate, when we see an athlete do A, B, or C, or how can they do such a thing? Because they're still human. Because they're still human. Because in some instances, you've taken an 18-year-old that has come from absolute dirt, absolute nothing, hand them a few $1,000,000 and forget that they're 18.
And they never had that much money before.
Yeah, and they probably have never had a chance to deal with unresolved trauma, and you cannot underestimate. Look, transparent moment. I have dealt with quote unquote daddy issues until like my mid to late 30s. Now, the worst thing you could have done to me, because true story, me and a couple of my buddies, we decided we were going to be a rap group because it was the 90s and everybody wanted to be a rap group. We laugh at that now and say the worst thing that could have happened is we actually blew up. The worst thing that could have happened is you handed us these three black kids from the hood with all kind of unresolved trauma, all that kind, those millions of dollars and that kind of access. I'm like, yeah, and it's like we forget these are real people with real issues. Oh my gosh, how do you drink and drive? You got $90 million, you can get a driver. You're still a regular person.
Yeah.
Now you just got a lot more issues on your plate and playbook and running offense and practice. And oh, by the way, I got 90 million in the bank or not. But it's like you forget these are real people. And we're gonna touch on that when we start the NBA piece. Like Ron Artest was the first athlete I remember ever saying shout out his therapist on TV when the Lakers won the
Yeah.
title that year.
And after he hit the shot, Kobe passed me the ball. And also shout out to my therapist. I like to thank it. I mean, that's real. Like that's real. That's. I mean, Ron had his issues, and if you watched his documentary, he has mental stuff. I think he's bipolar or something. But yeah, we
Yeah.
forget, like you said, that these are regular people. At the end of the day, like if Russ didn't get held back with 10-5 guys, it would have been on site because Russ is from LA. He is about that life. So you was gonna find that out the hard way. You got saved. Lucky you.
And it's like we sometimes we forget, and this is the part I don't know if everyone can relate to, because it depends on your upbringing, it depends on what you're dealing with at home. This isn't just a race thing. This is literally depending on your upbringing, what you're doing at home. Sports for a lot of guys and girls is an escape from the shit. It's mom and dad argue all the time. It's I ain't got no food or we just short on clothes, but I got this ball and I can take everything away. I can take the pain away for a little while by going to hoop or when I'm on that football field or when I'm on that ice and playing hockey. Like it's an escape from the shit. And just because you turn 18, 19, 21, and they hand you this contract that's millions of dollars, it didn't mean the shit went away. It just means it's on the back burner. So it's like we can I applaud, bring it back to where we started. I applaud Naomi for saying yes, my mental health comes first. You don't understand the level of anxiety. Oh, and gotta touch briefly. If you haven't seen it, by our boys and girls, go check out Venus Williams's response. Woo! Y'all want to see a damn body? Because when they tried to ask her about it, she was like, in so many words, I'm paraphrasing Venus. She's awesome. She's like, I just kind of remind myself that anybody with something to say, any reporter writing something or this or that, ain't never played a day in their life and can't beat me. Woo! And I'm being kind because the whole vibe of how she said it was like, ugh.
That's true. I ain't gonna beat it.
Right. None of these reporters, because I always said there needs to be a rule. If you can't do it, you can't criticize it.
I don't know about that.
Nah. Because it's a real. Okay, I'll give you an example. It's one thing to watch an interview with a player, but one of the reasons why, and we don't do the hate thing here. We will shout them out. One of the reasons why when you watch All the Smoke podcast, it feels so authentic is because the dudes hosting the podcast actually played in the league. You know why Shannon Sharp's take feels so heavy? It's because Shannon Sharp is a professional athlete and he played at the highest level and won Super Bowls. So with respect to Skip and respect to Stephen A,
I'm about to
and
say
I
they're faces of both of those shows, and they didn't play it down.
and that's what I'm like, it's like how I gotta take your critique. Like when these dudes, I could see it in his eyes, he was dead inside. You ain't never been an athletic nothing. You don't know what it's like to be in that ring, to be on that field.
That doesn't mean you're above good. I disagree with you 100%. I mean, I don't like I said. Some people say stupid shit. There's even some people that play because if you watch TNT with Shaq, Charles, Kenny, and them, they
Oh,
say
well,
some
yeah.
dumb shit and they play.
Paul Pierce be yeah, Paul Pierce used
So,
to be on one, so I'll give you
so
that. Paul Pierce
like,
used to be on
like
one.
just because you play, don't mean you say smart stuff because that's not true, not at all. No, and just because you didn't play doesn't mean you can't give an honest critique on someone what you're watching them do. Now, if you want to talk about somebody's personal life or mentals while they're playing, cool. But if you just critique, look at the numbers when you watch the game, be like, okay, this dude wasn't doing this, he wasn't doing that. That's in your right. That's perfectly within your right to do so, even if
It's
you didn't
just,
play in.
because for a while it was, oh, LeBron doesn't have the clutch gene, said by a whole bunch of reporters that ain't even make their high school basketball team.
But that's a lie, though. I mean, that's just a
We we
stupid take because that's a lie.
we been through that. LeBron put that to bed years ago. We didn't forget who put the icing on that last title in Miami against San Antonio. Bron did with a 3-pointer from Steph Dame range. Dagger. So there's that. But it's just I take what people say with a grain of who haven't done it with a grain of salt. So I hear Venus loud and clear. Like, you sitting there right. Your job is to write about me, but you ain't gonna beat me. You don't play. And if you did play, I probably smoke your ass too. So shout out to the Queen Venus Williams on that clapback. That was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, bring it back to Naomi. We have to understand we're dealing with people, and we put athletes on this pedestal as if they are, these gods. And to a certain degree, I get it, but you have to remember, yes. You go back to the Cavaliers. Kevin Love was one of the first NBA players to talk about, being depressed. And like, how are you depressed? You're in the NBA. You make millions and millions of dollars. You got, if you want to take it there, you got women galore. How can you be depressed? Because there's still people.
Still people who get criticized by people, like you just said, who either didn't play or you get criticized by people who did play and they don't, and you will think that they will have your back, but they don't. So Yeah, that's how I feel for Kevin Love, especially playing with LeBron. He got most of the blame and none of the
He
credit.
did. He did. Because every year, are they going to trade Kevin Love? Are they going to trade Kevin Love?
Like
Like,
that's
I
stressful.
forgot about
That's
that every
yeah,
year.
that's stressful. Like being the third star, like that's and you get all the blame and none of the credit. Yeah, that might mess with you.
And it's like everybody forgot he would drop it like 25 and 13 in Minnesota by himself. Like, it's like everybody all of a sudden forgot. But yeah, that I forgot about that part. Yeah, you mentioned being actually depressed. I'm like, and I'm guilty. Like, how you in the NBA make with a max deal just about depressed? Like, where's the depression? But I get it. No one wakes up to say I want to go to the NBA and get a max deal. They say they want to go to the NBA and be Michael Jordan or whatever and play well. That's a whole different animal. But all right. So we will be returning to the NBA momentarily. Um, yeah, this next piece looks like we got to have a quick conversation with everybody's favorite auntie, and I'm being facetious here. Oh boy. So a few weeks ago, not a few weeks ago, a little while ago, black comedian Monique did a PSA slash rant about sisters, looking like they care and respecting themselves and not going to the airport and outside without, inside clothes on and bonnets and blankets, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, here we go.
Tap dance for master.
Yeah. Woo, ouch. Ooh. Well, with that said, sir, I'm gonna let you jeter this thing again. what what were your thoughts on old Auntie Monique's rant?
You don't believe you need more people. Uh, I, like I said, personally, I didn't care. Like I'm not rushing in a four-piece suit everywhere I go. If I'm going around the corner, getting gas, taking out the trash, work, whatever. I'm sorry if you call that bummy, then I guess I look bummy. Even now, I'm wearing a t-shirt. You're wearing a jersey. You're wearing a podcast. Like you don't see
Right.
us going.
Oh, but hold up though. I mean, interrupt you real quick. I'd actually go outside in my basketball jersey with no shame. Continue.
Yeah, you living in the early 2000s, but yeah. Um, who who cares? For me, everything is about comfort, and I'm sorry. Unless it's really tailor made, I'm not a suit person. That's not comfortable. It's not button ups are not comfortable for me. I'm a big guy. You're a big guy. I'm pretty sure it's not comfortable for you. So I wear what's comfortable and t-shirts, tank tops, stuff like that. It's comfortable, shorts, some sweats. Like I don't even like wearing jeans anymore, to be honest with you. Like I'm a sweatpants and shorts
You've been in
guy.
this pandemic way too long, sir.
Hey,
Continue.
I just don't like. It's all about as the older you get, the more comfortable you want to be. So that's how that is. But I know what you're about to say. You're gonna get in the deeper thing in the white collar stuff and the whitewashing and all that. So I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna throw you this lob off the backboard. Here you go, buddy.
Okay,
Hit,
We're gonna
hit
Sean
him.
Kemp this one. We're gonna Sean Kemp this one. It just seemed like it really seemed tone deaf and borderline useless because it was like there's some things that people don't seem to realize. And I I guess kind of sort of every generation goes through it, but this generation that's current goes through it the worst. And here's what I mean. A lot of what Monique said was co-signed and by some black women and some black people. And it was like, my mother taught me to blah 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 blah. My mother showed, and I'm like, here's where this gets very interesting. You don't just, to me, and I've taught you this, you don't blindly accept anything. You question everything. Now, I get to some people that might seem exhausting, not when it's ingrained from day one, not when it's whatever it is. Ask the question: is this valid? How does this affect me? Now, here's where I'm going. If you are of the 35 to 40-ish range, right? Odds are a lot of your sensibilities came from your parents who were probably born um either early 60s or but somewhere between 50s and 60s, right? We are talking about people who got their sensibilities, not necessarily by fault of their own, but their sensibilities come from an era where whiteness was the order of the day. You had to look a certain way, be quote unquote presentable. And what presentable was called for is basically don't look bummy in front of these white folk. My mom did it. My mom was born in the 50s. Don't look bummy in front of these white folk. The standard was a white one. Subconsciously, because we want to put on suits, this, that, third. Don't look bummy in front of these white folks. We passed that down. Don't go outside any kind of way. Code 4, don't look bummy and embarrass us in front of these white folks. Don't make us look bad in front of these white folks. Here's a funny thing. That time is dead. Doesn't exist anymore. We are in an era, like you said, it is all about comfort. If you think about it, athleisure wear, which is a new thing, is pretty much all designed to walk around in comfortable clothing. Lululemon charges you $80, $100 to do it, but it is so you can walk around in comfortable clothing. So the era of it just Monique seemed very tone deaf and out of place. You are uttering ideals from a bygone era. Like, let's be real here. The biggest, I think, change in America, in not American, in world history, when you look back from 1990 to 2010, that 20-year space, that is the world before it does not look anything like the world after it. That is the internet, that is MySpace, that is Facebook, that is everything changing. There are no more records, there are no more CDs. At this point, I don't even know if anyone has do iPods even exist anymore? You know what I mean? Like, we went from tapes, records, CDs, MP3 players to there's no solid music anywhere. So I say all to say, you're speaking from an era that's dead and gone, Monique. And that's why the pushback is there, because we ain't doing that no more. We just not caring about what white folk think. And our standard of what black excellence is cannot be held up to whiteness still. We talked about that. Like, why do we still get all giddy over Grammys and Tonys and Oscar? Like, that's white shit if we being real. We gotta define blackness. Well, blackness and black excellence is separate from whiteness as much as possible. It's like we talk about this, like brothers in suits. There's a whole bunch of shit around. Oh, I love me a brother in a suit, brother in a suit. I love yo, suits is white shit. What you so the dude in say some slightly baggy jeans, some Timbs, and Yankee fitted, in a thermal. Nah, it's hood. That's urban. That's ghetto. But a dude in this business suit, that's what's up. Even though one is distinctly urban and of us from an urban environment, and the other is adhering to whiteness in the whitest way possible.
Well, they say white is right. That's what they used to say.
It's just it's as I'm like Mo. And then on the other thing is, so let me get this straight. George Floyd got murdered by a pig. Said pig is now in jail for a long, long time. Well, ideally, right? But we are still being murdered by pigs. We have not really gotten anywhere on the reparations conversation. Even though there's a black vice, we've had a black president, now a black vice president. We have made no inroads on the reparations conversation. Closing the wealth gap, minimum wage, the anti-lynching bill. Here's where I'm going here, Monique. With a platform such as yours, you mean with the major issues we are facing as black people and as poor people, this is what you found time to tell us.
Can I get a amen? Amen.
I'm just like, dog, what? It's like we at war getting shot at, and you think you left your oven on. What? We in the trenches, cats throwing grenades and shooting at us like, oh shit, y'all think I left my oven on?
You about to get shot. It's not gonna be by them. It's gonna be by me.
Like, are you Because it all again, it all speaks to look like one, and then as someone that has a job, we do not have to be on all the time. You don't have to look professional all the time. It's your job. Leave it at your job. Then another thing I heard, especially from black folk, you never know who you might meet. Who I'm gonna meet walking like so I'm supposed to put on because I might meet somebody? like, yo, like I wonder how many conversations like, yeah, I was gonna give her $5 million, but she had that bonnet on. Like, nah, I gotta find somebody at a bond to get this 5 million to. Do you make sense? They,
Yeah, like, I don't get that. Like, who are you going to meet? That's just like, what is you gonna meet Diddy or something or Jay Z, and he ain't gonna talk to you unless you got a suit on?
all right, now, and I forgot to put the disclaimer ahead of time. I am well aware this is a conversation about black women for black women, so on and so forth. So I get it. I got so much weight on this. We have so much. We have but so much weight on this. Um, as a black man who actually does love black women, though, and I also understand it's not about the male gaze per se, because this actually does fall under the purview, I believe, of the acceptance of the white male gaze. But I'm like, look, and I think most sisters would tell you, they didn't have them days where they just threw on a t-shirt and sweats. And like every dude within a 5 hour radius, like, yo, what's good? And they're like, I just look like exactly your regular plain self is cool. You do not have to be on for anything. But and I'm just like the list just keeps getting longer, man. Like, okay, so fake hair, fake eyes, fake nails. We mad at twerking. We mad at wigs. We mad at weaves. We mad at grown ass women talking about grown ass women sex and WAP. Now we mad at bonnets too, and not looking presentable and not respecting yourself. So, can someone send me the unofficially official list of exactly what black women can do and not piss people off? Just ask.
Exists. I mean, if you didn't,
Ah!
there
I'm
you
sorry.
go.
Go ahead.
That's exactly what they think. Not exist, and then everybody be happy. I'm saying that as a joke. I'm being sarcastic. I'm not being serious. I don't want nothing to happen.
Right,
But
because it's like so unless black women are pretty much in the background and fitting into nice, neat little boxes, somebody mad about something, boy. Somebody mad about something. If you ain't dark skinned with an afro and no makeup, somebody mad about something, boy. It's like that's the only thing sisters can do that ain't nobody gonna have no beef with. Because if you're light skinned, they're gonna say you got light skin privilege. If your hair ain't natural, you must hate yourself. If you're twerking, that's unprofessional. That's ghetto. If you're loud, that's ghetto. Like, why out here with fake hair? What? So what? What do sisters get to do that ain't gonna piss somebody off? And I laugh at, but it's like seriously, it is sad. Like now we got more. The list just keeps getting longer of things black women do that piss people off. Kanye voice. Get down, girl. Go ahead, get down. Sorry, Mo. That's yeah. Nah. We getting shot at, and you worried about your oven. Sorry. Right. All right. So NBA. We gotta start here. Like I said, when we started the show, I was talking about the jersey. I remember watching the Mouse of the Palace like mouth open. Like, did he really just go to the stands and set it on dude? Then it just devolved from there. Because I remember, I don't know whether Detroit, and I'm sorry to my listeners in Detroit, boy. I don't know if y'all had mad heart or that was mad stupid. Because I remember dude coming down and actually squaring up with Ron. And Ron was like, bah! No hesitation. Like, what did you thought? Because you was a fan and you squared up, you want to get that work?
yeah,
Straight.
Jermaine O'Neal came out of nowhere. Good thing he missed because he might have killed him.
Woo, yeah. It just bah! But we've had two incidences. One, somebody poured popcorn on Russell Westbrook, and then two, someone threw a water bottle at Kyrie. And oh, three, somebody possibly spit at Trey Young.
No, it's not possible. He did.
Because I was watching. Okay, so I'm like, I mean, I think sports fanaticism is an interesting thing. Like
White
I
people shit. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
not even nah, not even sports fanaticism goes beyond race. I will say this
Okay.
whole I'm gonna do something to you, throw something at you. That seems to be another area where white boys have the monopoly on.
I
Let's see,
say
match.
when they lose and we see riots in the streets, it ain't black people doing that dumb shit. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
but I'm sure a few of us are out there. But I'm like, so let's see, mass shooting,
Yeah, we don't claim it.
mass shooting, colonizing, and trying to assault athletes. Yeah, white boys, you did a great job. That's all you. That's all you. But no, sports fanaticism in general is not racial. It's not contained race. Like y'all done seen cats want to come to blows arguing over sports, yo. I'm like, dog, they ain't
I,
paying.
yeah, I don't care.
Like at the end of the day, they ain't paying. You think Jordan's better than LeBron? All right. I'm like, I'm not gonna fight you about it. You're wrong, but I'm not gonna fight you about it.
See, that's how you start a fight. Look at you. You're wrong. See, you didn't have to say that. You could just said, okay.
I just want to make it clear you're wrong. That's all. Just like a little reminder, like you're wrong. I'm not gonna fight you though.
There goes the fanatic in you, buddy. It's okay.
You wildin'. But nah, I just so you this notion of you're a professional athlete, and since I paid a ticket, you're a piece of property that I can discard or like this isn't ancient Rome where we in the Colosseum and if you lose, we kill you. Like, no. This ain't gladiator. Are you not entertained? Like, nah, that's not what this is. You sit your ass in your seat, you can boo, you can cheer, and that's really it though. And it seems like some folks got a hard time with that one. And I'm like, you wouldn't throw water, you wouldn't pour a popcorn on Russ in real life
Nope.
though. Like 6'3" is short by NBA standards. But if you're walking down the street and see somebody 6'3", that ain't small for real.
Yeah, Russ ain't no little dude. So, yeah.
Right. That's like 6'3" is small by NBA standards. You stand next to Rudy Gobert, that's wow, you short as hell. But 6'3" ain't small walking down your block. Like you gonna pour popcorn on him, my dude?
Probably not even tall enough to do it, but yeah. That wouldn't be smart. Like, yeah, that's why I said, like, one of these days, it's not going to happen. Because, like I said, it was like five people holding him back. And the NBA is more very, very cautious about stuff like that. But all it takes is just one more reminder. Like people were saying in the comment sections of the videos of it's like, we need Ron Artest when we need him. Because this stuff will be dead and quick in one hurry. Like no one would be doing this stupid shit if they had the fear of, oh yeah, we're gonna let him come up to you and try that shit again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody would do it then. So like yeah, it's just I don't understand. Like you said, they think you buy a ticket, you can say whatever you want, do whatever you want to them, and that's not the case. Because like we said earlier, they are humans too, and most of them come from a background where it's like you do something disrespectful, something gonna happen to you.
Mhm.
Like these ain't just blue collar kids had it up the whole way. Most of these dudes come from the hood, so what you think is gonna happen? But speaking
Yeah.
of Artest, Queensbridge, but yeah, like I just if they keep playing, something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna do it, and at this point, I wouldn't even blame them.
See, I don't think it will. And I think you gotta remember, after the Malice in the Palace, it was beefed up security, so on and so forth, to what? Keep players from going into the stands. Right? So no, there's gonna be 26 security guards to keep players from going into the stands. What we need to do is start policing these fans. And I'm
Yeah,
just like, what's going through your mind? Like, you understand there's cameras everywhere. All they're gonna do is go right back and look at who you are, and now you're banned for life. Was it worth it?
and for life, you need to be arrested and charged. That's assault.
I mean, you're right. I mean, how much? What are you gonna get for pouring popcorn on somebody? Like, that's
That's
In,
assault.
in
That's
real, I'm not saying it's not, but in real life, you're not gonna do 5 years. You're not gonna get a 2 to 5
I ain't say
for.
that shit. Do 1 day in jail. Most of these dudes, they be scared as hell. So I don't. You don't need to be in there 5 years. Be in there for 5 months. You gonna be scared as hell. They gonna have fun with your
Yeah,
soft ass. Yeah, that's right.
there you go. There you go. But I'm
But
like, it's just they seem to have a monopoly. Like, what would make you want to spit at somebody, dog? It's a game.
okay, with that part, if somebody was to do that in their core side, something's gonna happen to them. I promise you.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's a wrap.
Something's
It's
gonna happen to them.
I'm blanking all the way out. I'm
Like
blanking all the way out.
like
It's a
that
wrap.
is the most disrespectful thing you can ever do to somebody. So if somebody spits at somebody, yeah, I'm sorry, and you near the core side or the first, second, and third row, something will happen to you.
Yes, I'm blanking all the way out, yo. I'm blanking all the way out. You about to oof. Because I can get to you low quicker than those security guards can get to me.
Pretty much.
And why are we not surprised, Boston? Why are we not surprised? So Kyrie goes up to Boston, pretty much shits on you, steps on that little leprechaun, and somebody throws water bottle at his head. Ah, good old Boston. No surprise there. By the way,
Nice.
if you're a listener in Boston, I don't give a shit.
Oh, there goes that one viewer. Bye.
Hey,
Come
Yankees.
again.
It's all New York over here. It's all New York over here. So yeah, but I ain't thinking about it. But the brother Sean King made a point. He was like, the Boston Celtics mascot is literally a white man. I'm like, yeah, and you know what? I hadn't thought about it. I have thought about it, but it literally is. It literally is. To that end, so is Notre Dame's. But yeah, it's just why would you? Why, so you just never want to come to the garden again, huh? I know it's not a garden anymore, but still, you don't want you like. Is it worth getting banned for life? Like you can't go any to a game ever again. Is it worth it?
Mm.
Well, I just it's just an interesting thing. Like this seems to only be and I'm like, it seems to only be white guys doing it. That's not me being making it a race thing. It just no, it literally seems to be just white guys doing it. And ironically, it only seems to happen to black players. Like I don't think Cass was throwing shit when Larry Bird was just torching them in their house. I don't think Cass was throwing shit when Larry Bird did it. I don't think anybody's throwing shit at Luca when he's torching them in their house. So ironically enough, because you got every opportunity, because Luka be torching people, boy. Luka Doncic, Luka point guard for Dallas. Luka be torching people. You definitely want to throw something at him, but it never seems to happen. So there's that. Dear white guys who are mad and maybe a little bit drunk, please stop throwing things at black players. Please don't throw anything at any player.
Right.
Um, and while there are going to be usually 26 security guards, it only takes one person to not do their job for this player to come, up in the stands, and you can meet these hands. I don't think it's worth it because it can go from I threw popcorn at to man, he punched me in the face real quick. 0 to 100 real quick, and it just ain't worth it. But all right, playoffs, NBA playoffs, they're in full swing. What are your surprises so far, sir?
That Milwaukee's getting demolished
That's a surprise to you, but okay.
without Harden.
That's a surprise to you, but
Like,
okay.
yeah, uh, Chris Middleton, where are you? And Blake Griffin he's turned back into 2013 Blake Griffin. He
Lob
deserves
City.
a he deserves an Oscar because when you're in Detroit and then dunk for 2 years and then you posterize Giannis in the playoffs, like where was this at? Yeah, like that's not fair. Like they have a big four now. Like that's just not fair.
Everybody has stuck the nail in the coffin with Blake Griffin like he was done. Like, nah.
I
If y'all ain't
told
noticed, he added a 3-pointer to his game. But continue.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing well. Like what in Detroit. Like, let's keep it a stat. These last 2 years, it's just been like, eh. And then as soon as he gets on the contender, it's like, oh yeah, I was just playing. Like I just did that so I can get out and win a ring. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, wow. And talk about flopping, but he took flopping to a whole nother level. We thought he was trash. I guess not. Oscar goes to Blake Griffin for the Brooklyn Nets. Heist of the
Hilarious.
year.
I mean, I think my surprise, first surprise is the first, the surprise most people had. I am shocked the jersey that I'm wearing, the Lakers are at home. So that is a shock. That is the biggest shock so far.
I'm not
Um,
surprised about that.
I'm super shocked. Super shocked. Um, I'm almost as equally as shocked as see, I don't know if Phoenix is as good as advertised though, because it's like you didn't play Lakers at full strength. So we'll see. Um, I'm absolutely not shocked that Milwaukee is getting curb stomped right now because look, Milwaukee is slowly turning into Cleveland LeBron years. It's Giannis and four other dudes. Problem is these four, unlike LeBron, these four other dudes, he can't take them to the finals.
Nope.
Because yeah, so it's Giannis and four other dudes, and they might have to blow it up a little bit. Like not totally, but something ain't working there. And I get Brooklyn is talented. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? But they just get smashed like badly. I don't know if I have any other real surprises. I'm curious to see how. Oh, surprise! Dallas is at home. I thought they had that. I
I,
really thought they had that. I
I
was
knew they was
watching
gonna
Game
lose.
Six. I was wondering, like, if they didn't close them out Game Six in Dallas, I'm like, you don't want to go to Staples in Game Seven. By the way, goes back to what I said about last year. Denver will not walk in the state. Denver wouldn't have walked in the Staples in Game Seven and won that. That's how I'm like, you shouldn't have fired Doc Rivers, but all good. Like that should have cost Doc Rivers a job. But okay, cool. Um, Portland being at home is not a complete and total surprise. It's only slightly surprising because they didn't have Jamal Murray. So I'm like, I figured no Jamal Murray and a white hot Dame. Yeah. So Phoenix being Phoenix is I won't say a complete surprise, but right now, if I gotta call it, since the Lakers are at home, I got a Brooklyn Clipper final. You heard it here first. I'm not counting out Kawhi. I'm just not. You know, people don't learn to count out. People keep learning the hard way to not count out Tom Brady. I'm not. I'm not counting out Kawhi. I'm not counting out Killer Kawhi because they were losing Game Six against Dallas, and Kawhi just went Kawhi and could not miss and just didn't. I'm not counting out Kawhi. I'm sorry. And that team is still talented and still relatively loaded. I got Clippers Nets finals. I don't know who wins that, but I got Clippers Nets finals. What you got?
Yeah, either that or Suns and the Nets.
You are really riding with this Suns thing.
Cause I like Devin Booker and I want Chris Paul to honestly finish with a ring. I don't want him to be ringless. Cause I was always supporting him when you said stupidly that Darren Williams was better. So yeah,
We gonna bring that. Really? We gonna bring that back. We go. Wow. Wow.
look at me now.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine.
I
Darren
was
Williams
right.
ended up to
I was right. Thank you. Give me my flowers.
really. We go really. Oh my! For the NBA heads out there, yes, I said Darren Williams is better, especially when they played at that. Oh, so I completely forgot about that. You go there. You go bringing up old stuff. Okay, fine.
Hey, I wonder who I got that from.
Anywho, run it back recap here. Let's start from the top. Shout out to Indigenous brothers and sisters, Native Americans getting half of Oklahoma back. Half is better than none. No shout out. Please do not be doing sexual assault things to make that happen. The Obama cartoon, We the People. I will give it an honest watch July 5th. I will give it an honest watch though. I see what they're doing there. I see where it can be useful. I will wipe out my biases and give an honest watch. Um, Proud to Naomi Osaka. Mental health. Salute for not sticking around and being bullied by the French Open and Roland Garros and all those lames. I see you, girl. Raise a black fist to you. Auntie Monique, I really would hope this would be a lesson to you. I'm sure it's not going to be. I'm so sorry we're being shot at and you're worried about your oven being on, but okay. I'm sorry we're in war and you're worried about your oven being left on. Um, File under worried about the wrong shit. And lastly, NBA playoffs. Yeah, well, one NBA, dear white guys who buy tickets, that does not give you carte blanche to throw things at players. And one, is it worth being banned for life? Or two, is it worth the beat down if just one of these security guards is like, you know what? I think I'm going to get out the way. I don't think you want that smoke. And lastly, yep, finals prediction Clippers, Nets. I do not have a winner in that. I think it goes six either way. I think it goes six either way. But Clippers, Nets, that's my NBA finals. Your recap, sir.
Half Oklahoma. Shout out to y'all. We just gonna be waiting in line. We right behind you, buddy. Obama cartoon. I still don't care, but I'm probably gonna watch it. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if I want to watch an hour long of music videos, but we'll see. Naomi Osaka. Shout out to you, my black queen, Malaysian queen, and do whatever is best for you. Screw everybody else. And Monique, yes, just please be quiet. Please, please. We was with you, and now we're just like, you tap dancing. Stop tap dancing. Take your tap shoes off. Uh,
Mm.
NBA fans, yeah, especially the spitting thing. The spitting thing is really what gets me. Like, throw water, popcorn, you still catch a beat down, but spitting on me, I'm pushing you to the hospital, if not kidding. So, yeah, NBA playoffs, I got either, like you said, Clippers or Suns in there with the Nets, and probably got Brooklyn winning in 6 or 7, maybe even less if they keep playing like they playing now. So, yeah.
All right. We are back. We'll try our very best to make sure we don't take too many breaks or hiatuses. Life happens. We're still, of course, fishing for sponsors. And we get more sponsors, the lot less of life that has to happen that keeps us from you people. But do want to always say thank you for being patient with us. We always want to make sure quality content over just amount of content. So sometimes you got to take a break and let the world spin, as we say. But any stretch, on behalf of myself and my co-host, appreciate your viewership, your listenership. Thanks for
Yes,
tuning in to
sir.
Yesterday Podcast. We will see you again. Oh, yes. Um, YISI said it at gmail.com. We are on Facebook, of course, at Yes Said It. You can find us very, very easily. Like, subscribe, share. I always tend to forget that. I just presume you guys do it. So I just want to remind you, put it out there. Sometimes you don't do it unless it's said. But we will see you guys soon. Again, thank you for rocking with us. Yeah, I said it podcast. Peace.
Yeah.